Hi, my name is Robert Chelle with Chelle Law, and my law firm assists dental associates and dentists with employment contract issues. Today, I'm going to talk about whether a dentist should choose occurrence-based or claims-made coverage if they have the choice. So first, occurrence and claims-made are the two most common types of malpractice insurance for dentists. And if you are an employed dentist with a practice, it's very likely that the practice is going to use claims made. And so let's kind of go through the differences between the two and then maybe which one would benefit you. So if you are thinking of signing an employment contract, there's going to be a section in the contract that discusses malpractice insurance. If you're an employee, the employer absolutely should pay for your underlying premium. So an underlying premium is just simply how much it costs to insure you on a yearly basis. So they should pay for that. Now, if it's a claims-made policy, it means a policy has to be in effect when the claim is actually made. And so it's possible you could leave an employer and then there's going to be what's called a statute of limitations. So like a time period that someone can sue you. In most states, it's 2 years. There are exceptions. There are a few states that's a little longer than that, but let's just use 2 years as an example here. So if you had a claims-made policy, you would need tail insurance, which then covers the gap between when you leave and then the last day somebody can sue you. Now, a claims-made policy versus an occurrence policy is really kind of the differentiator is price. So an occurrence-based policy, you don't need tail insurance, but it's about a third more expensive than claims-made policy. So under a claims-made policy, it would be a third cheaper than an occurrence-based policy. However, you would be responsible to pay for tail insurance. And a good rule of thumb is tail insurance costs about twice what your annual premium is. So let's just say an annual premium of $4,000. Then if you're responsible to pay for tail, it would be around $8,000 cost. Now that's a one-time cost. It's not yearly. And you would pay that, prior to the expiration of the contract, or if it's been terminated, your last day of work. And so you'd have to pay the entire amount up front, but then you would be covered for however long the tail is. Tail costs can vary a little bit based upon two things. One, how long you've been with an employer, and then two, the length of the tail. So it can be anywhere from like 1.5 times your annual premium all the way up to 3 times based upon those factors. Now, it's honestly pretty rare that you would have an employer say to you, we can offer you both policies. We can do occurrence-based or claims-made. It's up to you. Well, if it's up to you, then obviously, and you should get an occurrence-based policy. To not have to worry about tail insurance is a no-brainer. So if they say to you, we'll pay for whatever underlying annual premium it is, and it's up to you, get an occurrence-based policy. Now, maybe you're an independent contractor and whoever you're going to work with states you're responsible to pay for it, for the annual premium, and if you get claims-made tail, that would be a scenario where you would kind of have to make a decision. So think of it this way. If you are working for someone as an independent contractor and you say you're only going to work for 1 year and you can choose between either policy, well, in that scenario, it would make sense to get an occurrence-based policy. So let's just say you have as I said before, a $4,000 annual premium. Well, at the claims-made level. Okay, so it's a third more. So you'd be paying roughly, $500 or $5,300 per year with an occurrence-based policy. Whereas if you had a $4,000 claims-made policy and then the contract ends and then it's twice as much, then you're going to have to pay $4,000 for the annual premium plus $8,000 for the tail, maybe a little bit less than that. So you have a $12,000 total cost if you went with claims-made, if you're only staying with an employer for 1 year. And then if you had an occurrence-based policy, you're only paying $5,300. So you're saving roughly, $6,700 just by utilizing an occurrence-based policy. So in that scenario, once again, makes complete sense. Now, if you're staying with an employer for a long period of time, or as an independent contractor working for someone for a long period of time, let's just say it's 10 years, Well, in that scenario, you would have to do the math of, all right, if I'm paying a third more per year over the course of 10 years, is that going to be more expensive than having a policy that's a third cheaper and then tacking on, $8,000 at the end? The longer the time frame you're with an employer, the more it probably makes sense to go with the claims made policy if you had the choice. Now, expecting to work an extended period of time, like 5-10 years with, one practice is foolhardy in my opinion. I mean, with the kind of proliferation of all these corporate dental practices swooping in and buying up all these dentist-owned practices, places that were great to work with before are now maybe not so great to work at or with. And so I would not go into any kind of relationship expecting it to last more than 5 to 10 years. It's just very unlikely in this environment that would happen. So that's a breakdown of occurrence versus claims made, and then maybe which one you should choose if you're looking for a new position. If you have any questions about your employment contract, you can always call my law firm at the phone number listed below in the description, or you can reach us through our website, ChelleLaw.com. Please like and subscribe to the channel. We issue new videos every single day, and I appreciate you watching the video. Thanks.